let's turn to our committees. And I think is that okay? We're going to go with finance. Chair Norton, the floor is yours.
Green. Here we go. So we heard a little bit about character education today, and you are all going to get a chance to learn about one of the character education traits that we practice in elementary, and that's flexibility. We are jumping to agenda item number 5. This is our finance report from our September 8th meeting. The first item to bring before the board is our 277-113 LEA fiscal and auditing procedures. These are amendments. The motion before the board is that the committee recommends that the board approves our 277-113 LEA fiscal and auditing policies draft 3 on second and final reading.
Thank you, Chair Norton. Any discussion, questions to that motion? If not, let us vote. And do we need a reminder of how we're doing that? Could we? We're for the public, we're still implementing a new system. It's going to have more transparency and record of votes for the public to review, but we're still making sure we got the logistics down. So, Kelsey.
Great, thank you. Just as a reminder for everyone, like Chair Moss said, we are using the voting system today. So the vote has officially started. You can see the motion that we're voting on up on the big screen. There should be 3 buttons on your little screen on your mic. Yes, abstain, no. If you don't see it, just tap the screen and it'll go to the voting screen. You have the opportunity to press whatever button you want. It'll show what you voted for, your name up on the right-hand side, if you can see that small. And then you can vote how you like. We'll give you 10, 15 seconds. Chair Moss will announce the closing of voting. Once we put a stop to the vote, you won't be able to insert your choice after that. And then we can see exactly who voted what and how the motion passed or failed. Thank you.
Thank you. So, one point, I will announce that the vote is starting so that you're on notice. If you're still trying to vote, if you have a tech glitch or something as we announce the end, board members, just throw a hand in the air and say, hold on. We can go old school while we're working out the new school. We want to make sure everybody has an opportunity. There will be a point when it closes, kind of like where the legislature does. And so that's the system. But do feel free to flag me if you are still trying to get your vote in. We don't want to leave anybody out. All right. So you tell me when we're done here, Kelsey.
Well, you have to vote.
Mine's
I've-
not up.
You have to touch it.
All right. So tap your screen. That was an important point.
Everybody vote.
We already did that. Everybody vote.
I know, but we're
Okay.
gonna put a time
So
limit on it.
Ask Matt online if he's with us.
yeah, do we have Matt with us?
Yes, you do, and I am a yes vote.
Okay. Have all board members been able to access tapping your screen and then voting with the yes, abstain, or no buttons? I think we got it. Do we have that?
We're missing
We're
some votes.
missing.
We've got 11 plus 12 with member Hymas, so we got
13.
12. We have 13 now?
Well, you can look up there and see who's not voting. It didn't record? Did that record?
I think that's it because we're missing.
Oh,
Okay.
And then he says the vote on it.
that's
They can
right.
see it. It's on their online.
Okay.
We're good? Hold on. We got it? Member Lear, question? If you have a question about whether your vote has been recorded, please again throw up a hand. We thank you for your patience, public, as we figure this out. We promise there's benefits. Greater transparency is a good thing, but we're mastering the front end. Is that everybody then? You got it? Okay. All right, so that vote is closed. Sorry?
12 to
Yep, and that passes by 12 to 2. So this should be cleared then. Let's see, we just hit close on our,
Yep.
I don't think we're recording it. The point of this is to record it all, so when will that be available? Is that? It's on the screen. Can we show that on the screen? I just don't want to slow down. For the point of this is to streamline, but also to record and make it public. So let's. Okay.
It will be visible on YouTube.
Okay.
I understand the text is a little small, but it can be seen. And we also download all these results and we'll compile them into a single PDF that people can look through and see who voted for what on every single vote that will be put on our website
There we go.
forthwith.
Okay. So we are making this transparent. All right. Back to Chair Norton.
Okay, moving ahead to item 5.7, the state fiscal year 2023 carry forward balance status and approval for use. The motion before the board is that the committee recommends that the board approve the spend plans for the unencumbered state fiscal year 2023 carry forward balances.
Okay. Discussion, question, comment to that motion. Member Bogus?
Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry, we're going out of order. I didn't have this all pulled up.
Are we on 5.6 or 5.7?
We are on 5.7.
We just did 5.7. Yeah, this is the one we're discussing is 5.7.
I think we did 5.2, fiscal and auditing policies, right? And 5.2 is an action item, 5.6, and then 5.7. Did we skip 5.6 is my question.
I'm showing 5.6 was the information.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my chair's agenda. I had 5.6 as an action item. Is that an information item?
You're correct. What is happening is that the numbers moved down because the summary was added to the agenda.
Okay, sorry, I'm going on my board chair's agenda, but. All right, does everybody know where we are? We're on 5.7 then, correct? Yes, okay. All right, 5.7. Sorry, back to you, Chair Norton.
So I just read the motion that the committee recommends that the board approves the spend plans for the unencumbered state fiscal year 2023 carry forward balances.
Discussion of that motion.
Christina.
Member Bogus.
Thank you, Chair. I just would ask that we remove the student support services spend plan from that, so I would move to amend that with the exception of the student services plan, that we move those forward, and then we can deal with that one in a separate motion, please.
Okay, so the motion is to approve to remove from the spend plan, the student services.
How about
Budget,
this? Can I
correct?
do that differently? Can I
Yeah.
just move to divide it out? That might be a simpler way.
That would be a motion then. I think that would be in order to divide out that
Just divide
section.
out the one, please.
Yeah, so the motion is to divide out from the carry forward spend plan, the student services. Carry forward plan. Let's see. I'm not sure if we've got that up there. Okay. Did I frame that right? The motion is to divide the student services carry forward spend plan from the remainder of the carry forward spend plan. Does that capture it, Member Bogus?
I don't see it. I think, sir, It's just a motion to divide it out.
Right, I just want to
So
be
we
clear
had that
what's-
one voted on
what's-
separately.
Yeah, right, yeah. And the division is to divide out the student services carry forward spend plan from the remainder,
Is,
right?
yes.
Okay. Let's get that up there and then see if we have a second. Does that capture the motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there a second? Seconded by Member Green? Okay. Discussion to the motion to divide. We're just talking now about the division, then we'll put that to a vote. Right. You're at.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, to the motion to divide, it's no secret that I'm not a fan of omnibus motions. And I would honestly love to move to divide them all separately. But in the interest of efficiency today, I would like to divide this one out for a separate vote because it's got some elements that I'm deeply uncomfortable with, and our staff did a great job explaining my concerns. I think it needs to be debated separate from this, so that we can be honest and authentic in our vote. Otherwise, I would be a no vote to all, and I would like to support those that I wish to support and be sincere and targeted in my voting record. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Earl.
Yeah, I have just a question for Member Bogus. Was there something specific programming that you were concerned about that the money would be going towards? And if you could articulate that so I could be familiar with that as well?
Back to you, Member Bogus.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna just forward an email to you right now. In particular in this spend plan, there was home visits, a bullying prevention program, and kindness walls included. That actually, it might seem like chump change, but it's a substantial amount of money, and I just don't think it's not to the motion. Is that the answer that you
Chair,
wanted?
thank you. That I was curious on that because yes, thank you.
Okay, further discussion to the motion to divide? If not, let's vote. Please touch your screen. It should be up and voting is now open. Motion is to divide student support services spend plan from the remainder of the carry forward spend plan. Oh yeah, so members vote and then Member Hymas?
Member Hymas is a yes.
Okay. Got everything up? Everybody in? We do have Member Hymas. Yeah, you're right. Let's see. That need to be read out for when we have somebody remotely, if their vote is recorded here. Oh. All right, okay. 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 All right. Let's so the no's on that are Member Booth, Member Norton, Member Reel, and Member Lear. Got that right? And it passes by 11-4, I believe, correct? Okay, so we are divided, and let's turn to, let's leave it back to the body. Is there a motion on either of those two items that have now been divided? We've got student services and we've got the remainder.
Well, if I could, I'd move that we approve the remainder. And I think I think it's the original motion, but that's. my
As
motion.
divided, so yeah, that's an appropriate new motion. It's been seconded by Vice Chair Hart, so the motion is to approve the remainder with the exception of student support services carry forward spend plan. Any discussion on that motion? If not, let's vote. Voting is now open. Well,
Member Hymas is a yes.
it's almost open.
She has to type it in.
Sorry, got ahead of myself. All right. Just priming the pump.
Just so public knows that we only have so many characters we can put on there, but we'll put the full motion when it's published, just so that you're aware. We're doing the best with what we've got available, so.
Yeah.
Okay, voting is now open.
This is the, oh, it's on, oh, shoot.
Can you remind me of the timing on this, Sybil? Is there a timing I should be watching?
So we're going to close the vote now. Everybody make sure that you voted.
Everybody's in? Okay, we've got 14 yes, 1 no. Member Klein,
15, there's 15, yeah. Oh,
14 yes, no. 14 yeses and 1 no. Member Klein is a no. Okay, that passes. Any other motions? We've got a division then. We've got approval of everything but student support services.
okay, moved it.
Vice Chair Earl,
Mhm.
are you?
I'm just saying we would move on unless someone moves that.
Member Norton? Or, excuse me, Chair Norton?
So can I make a motion to support student
Sure.
services as
That's in order.
originally brought?
Yes. Okay, the motion is to approve the student support services carry forward spend plan. Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Member Straight. Discussion of the motion. Back to Chair Norton. Do you want to speak to the motion?
I can just say,
You're,
Math, too many.
I can just say that we heard from Tracy Van Deventer in our meeting, and I was very, and also a follow-up email, and I felt like that those are items that would be very helpful to our schools that need support services, and I fully support the use of the remaining funds to fund this program as well.
Thank you. Further discussion of the motion? Member Bogus?
So I would move to amend that we approve, sorry, I can't, I'm struggling tracking because I think he's typing below the screen maybe? Oh, I apologize. Thank you, sir. So that the board approve, I would amend the motion to say that the board approve the student services spend plan less the kindness wells, the bullying prevention, and the home visit training.
Is there a second? Can you restate the last part for the record? I think Ben is,
Yeah, the kindness walls, the bullying prevention, and the home visit training. And then with a second, I would like to speak to the motion.
did we get a second? I can't recall. We got a couple. Member Klein, Member Green. Okay. Back to you if you'd like to address the motion.
Yes, sir. So I did bring this up in committee, and I believe it's pronounced Van Deventer, and she did a really great job articulating what these things were, and helping me have a clarity and understanding, and I was super appreciative of that. She sent a very detailed follow-up email that I did forward, but the more information I got, the more consternation I had. And I can go ahead and take the 10 minutes and speak to that. I just, the digital issues that are there, the bullying prevention to me is not actually bullying prevention. I think it goes into a whole other realm in my personal opinion. And then the explanation of the home visit training was just not something that I can support. I think it's a violation of the Constitution to engage with families that way, and I can't support it after taking an oath to uphold the Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion of the motion? Okay. I guess as the chair role, I shouldn't be speaking to, unless I surrender the chair. So I won't speak to the substance. Anybody else? If not, let's vote. As soon as I see it, I'll announce it open. Can I forget what my opportunities are. While we're teeing that up, I've experienced the home visits. I think it's a program that asks parents how we can help rather than directing parents. And so I think I support this particular version of home visits the way our office has developed it. Member, now we'd like more response. Member Klein, Member Bogus.
Yes, I just want to explain my vote. I will be a no on this, but I agree with removing the kindness and bullying prevention and home visit training. I just have other issues with other parts of it as well, so I'll be a no vote.
Member Bogus.
It disappeared.
Oh,
So I would. Do you use someone else's one?
No, I want you to, it's my error.
Am I good? Thank you, ma'am. So I just want to be clear, and perhaps we go back and watch the video, but the explanation of the home visit training was very interesting, and I don't want to articulate it and then articulate it wrong. But my recollection is, the interrogation of parents was what immediately went through my mind. My words, not someone else's. The query of parents. It caused me great consternation. We're in someone's private space asking questions, and we're training teachers how to interrogate better. And after reviewing those documents, it just was something that I just cannot support. Looking at it, researching it, I can't support it. I think it's not the proper role of government, and it's not the proper role of schools, in my opinion. Thank you.
thank you. Member Klein, or did you already
I just have a
make your
question.
point? Okay.
I just have a question for the maker of the motion. Does that include translation support para in-home visits? I see home visits as two different items on here. So it includes both. Do we need to articulate that in the motion so that it's clear? So family home visit training and translation support para in-home visits are included in that.
Is that a suggested amendment to the amendment?
I think it would be.
I think it would be.
a friendly amendment.
Any objection to allowing that? Appears to be a friendly. Okay. So the motion would be to approve all but 4 items, including the last.
Exceptions, and then we would have a second vote on the amendment to bring forward those 4 things. Is that how this is going?
If the motion passes, then it would approve all but those 4. If the motion fails, we would come back and somebody could make a motion. The underlying motion would be to approve everything. So this is to pass through everything but those 4, leave those out.
This is the
To amend.
to her motion.
Correct, right. So the amendment is to say only everything but those 4, right?
Okay, so if I voted yes, I'm going to get a chance. I just want to make sure I'm going to get a chance to bring the other 4 items forward to approve at some
No,
point.
a
Okay.
yes vote would exclude those 4 from approval.
Okay,
A no vote would bring it back to the underlying motion, which would ask us whether we approve the entire slate.
thanks for the clarity.
So yes here is to exclude, no vote is to bring it back to the full set.
Thanks.
Okay, I'll just make a very final comment. I've seen this training at Murray and Wasatch, and it's voluntary. They ask parents if they'd like to have a visit, and I think the training is intended to just empower the parents by saying, what can we do for you? And the training is meant to not invade privacy. I think, again, this my own experience, but I think they've done a good job at trying to draw that line between we're not here to interrogate or tell you what to do, but we're here to ask how we can help. That's my experience. Final comment, Member Bogus, would you like to? Oh, yeah.
So for my own understanding, my understanding was this was training for teachers, not training for parents.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's,
they-
I think you may have misstated, or I might have misheard.
I'm sorry, it's training for teachers about how to engage parents, but it's a voluntary visit. It's only if the parents would like the teacher to come visit, then they train the teachers how to do that. That's been my experience. So there's training done of the teachers before they go out and ask parents if they want a home visit and then go do it. Okay. That was my experience. But yeah, anybody who's had experience, this is the time to bring it forward. Feel free.
Sorry,
we're gonna go to the vote, but yeah, final comment?
So my thought would just be that my experience and your experience, they're valid experiences, I get that. But I made my decision not based on my experience. I made it based on the information provided to me by our staff.
Fair enough.
And again, it was well presented. They took time to do it, and I appreciate it. But it's just not something I can support. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Member Klein, final comment?
As far as home visits go, that to me sounds like a parent-teacher conference being done at home instead of in the school. And that is blurring the lines between home and state or family and state. And I think we need to keep very clear, bright lines between the two, so that we are not verging on, because we have a constitutional amendment, about searches and seizures and government coming into your home. And I think that is not the proper role, and we shouldn't be doing that. If parents need help, they can do that at a parent-teacher conference or in the school, and the schools should not be going in the home, period.
All right, thank you. Member Davis? Okay, Member Davis, Member Lear.
Chair, might we be able to get the information that was sent to Member Bogus so we can see it ourselves? I also did kind of my homework on this, but I don't know if I missed somewhere along. I mean, I know how I'm going to vote, but maybe we'll bring it back later if I miss something in my personal study as well. But I'll say, as a former principal, when people called me with serious concerns, I always offered to meet with them at their home for their most convenient. They were welcome to come to the office, and I always offered to go to their home so they could meet on their own safe territory if they chose that. So I just don't know, just a little uncomfortable making really these sort of clear distinctions that everything in the home is bad and everything in the school is good or vice versa. I think it really needs to be a communication between parents and educators. But I'd like to see the information if we could get it, please.
Let's see that. We do need to move to votes.
that?
There are always questions. I know there are always questions, that we might want us to follow up. But we'll proceed to a vote after Member Lear.
I have a simple question. Is the parent participation in these visits completely voluntary on the parent's part? Always understood it was. Let me put it that way. There's nobody going to be compelled to visit with a school person in their home. Is that accurate?
It's my understanding, but do we have a staff member that might want to?
Yeah, I hate. I don't
Well,
wanna make
we
big
don't
deal.
need to do that unless, Member Lear, you're,
Well, it's sort of rhetorical.
okay.
That I just can't imagine that you could compel a parent to let a staff person into the home.
All right. I'm seeing nods that it's entirely voluntary.
Great.
That,
Thank
again,
you.
that's been my experience going through the training. Okay, let's vote. The vote is open. The motion is that the board approve the student services spend plan except for the kindness and bullying prevention, home visit training, and translation support. Member Hymas?
I'm a no.
Member Hymas is a no. And we've got everybody in. That motion fails. The yeses were Member Green and Member Bogus. Okay. All right, let's move back to the underlying motion then, which is that the board approve the student services spend plan. We've had some good discussion. I see no lights. Let's tee that one up and vote. Let's see. I need to close that one. Okay. Now I'm moving too fast. Jenny's got conditions. Move it, move it. Okay, voting is open. Member Hymas?
I'm a yes.
Okay. And voting is closed. We have 12 yeses, 3 noes. The noes are Member Green, Member Bogus, and Member Klein. Okay, that covers, I believe, item number 5.7, if I'm not mistaken. Member Klein?
I just have a question, maybe for staff. If we could get some information as far as when home visits are done, what kind of data is collected from what it happens in that meeting at the home, and what is and data collected on what this school personnel observes within the home while they're there. I would like to see the data that is collected on that.
Could we put that in the hopper? Thank you. Thank you, Superintendent. Okay. You sent that around? Awesome, thank you. Okay. All right, back to Chair Norton, I believe.
Okay, item 5.8. The committee recommends that the board approves continuing a contingency fund of $200,000, a legal contingency fund of $250,000, the internal control fund of $10,000, $200,000 for training of general education and special education, $50,000 for over-the-phone and website translation services from the discretionary account, returning $200,000 for the research study of standards and curriculum alignment and research study of student safety and environment to the discretionary fund balances, and I'm not going to be able to read it. $100,000. Now I'm really not going to be able to read it. I was hoping it would come up here.
Who did that? Who?
I think Greg might have accidentally got disconnected. Looks like he-
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know if it was the Grumman or that. I can run back.
Okay, so in addition, we're just going with that one and then we're doing the other one separate?
It's up to you.
Okay, I was just going to combine it all together. Okay. That the board approves $100,000 from the tax delay fund for the superintendency. I'm guessing, does that say of public
For
education?
discretionary use.
Oh, for discretionary use of public instruction.
Do it the right way. Right. Right.
We need to do those two separate because one came out of committee and one's an amendment.
Okay, so we'll go back
So-
to the original
Thank you.
group up above.
And you can do them consecutively. We just can't combine them.
Okay, so we're going to do three motions then. All right. So the committee recommends that the board approve continuing a contingency fund of $200,000, a legal contingency fund of $250,000, the internal control fund of $10,000, $200,000 for training for general education and special education, $50,000 for over-the-phone and website translation services from the discretionary account, and returning $200,000 for the research study of standards and curriculum alignment and research study of student safety and environment to the discretionary fund balances.
Okay. I see Deputy Jones.
Well, and I don't know if it's, there's one missing, though. It was in a motion from the Finance Committee. It's for facility needs. It's on the report I believe that was in the motion. Maybe we missed putting it
Well,
on your,
there's another motion total here that's got the
the facility needs?
upgrade, obsolete parking and.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
okay.
a whole nother motion that's coming.
Okay, and then the superintendent's motion as well. Okay, thank you, Chair.
Is,
Yeah,
is that
just for clarity.
facilities part an add-on amendment then? I
I
actually.
thought it was a part of the original amendment coming out of finance, or I'm sorry, the
So that-
original
that's-
motion, but that's fine if it's split out that way, so.
Okay, do we need clarity on that, or is it, we go without that one, and that one's an amendment teed up? That sound right?
Yeah,
get
just as
it,
long as it
because it's
gets
separate.
addrest by the board.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're fine, sir.
Okay,
Thank
all right,
you,
we
thank
good?
you for the
Okay.
clarity.
All right, so the motion is that the board approves continuing contingency funds of 200,000, legal contingency fund of 250,000, internal controls fund of 10,000, 200,000 for training for general ed and special ed, 50,000 for over the phone and website translation services from the discretionary account, and returning 200,000 for the research study of standards and curriculum alignment and research study of student safety and environment to the discretionary fund balances. Any discussion to that motion? Member Bogus.
So I appreciate, Member Davis, we were just chatting offline. Just for clarity, we're not spending the money on the last one. That money is actually going back in, and because the language is a little funky. So I just wanted clarity on that for the public and for my constituents. Thank you.
Seeing nods from our committee leadership, so yes, that is being returned rather than spent. Any other discussion to the motion? All right, let's vote. Member Hymus?
Member Hymus is yes.
And voting is complete. That is unanimous. Back to you, Chair Norton.
Yes, now I'd like to make a motion to amend that the board approves $100,000 from the tax delay fund for the discretionary use by the superintendent of public instruction.
Okay, that one needs a second because it's a, hold on. I think Michelle.
It's a motion to amend.
It's a separate motion.
Hold on, let's hear from our assistant AG. Just,
It's actual motion in and of itself because you already closed the vote on that motion, so you actually have to recall the motion that you just voted on in order to amend it.
okay, so this,
This is just a new motion.
thank you.
Okay,
Got
so
it,
make
thank
that
you.
as a motion.
Okay. So that's the motion, that your board approves $100,000 from the tax delay fund for discretionary use by the superintendent of public instruction. That requires a second. Member Booth seconded. Discussion to that motion. Back to you, Chair. Did you want to speak to your motion?
No, thank you.
Okay, other discussion to
Oh,
the motion?
maybe I can.
Okay,
One of the things that, for instance, that the superintendent is called upon to help sustain public education throughout the state. Many of us have had the opportunity to go to the rural education meetings. I know that's one of the things that would come out of this account.
can we ask superintendent about that?
Yes, let's ask superintendent.
And I know that's been funded by the past, great conference. Do you want to just speak to that for a minute?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. One of the great things about the URSA conference is that it gets bigger and better every year. More people attend, and so it costs more money. So each year we plan for that to support them, and we have a lot of staff who are called on to go support. Many of you have been there, so you know all about this. And then also Teacher of the Year, we held that budget pretty minimally for the banquet and Teacher of the Year expenses when they are called on to present or to travel. We cover those expenses as well. So those things just cost a little bit more each year. So, and then there are other things that come up that we need additional funds for, but that's minimal. The bulk of them go to the RESA conference and Teacher of the Year.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent. Any further question or comment? Seeing no lights, let's vote. Member Hymus?
Yes.
Member Hymus is a yes. Voting is complete. That passes by 14-1 with Member Klein the only no vote. Back to you, Chair Norton. Sorry, we have a question about.
It could be mine because I was slow.
Did we?
Am I
did we-
listed on there?
Oh, wait a sec. So member Bogus is not listed, is she? No, I don't see member Bogus up there. Sorry. All right, member Bogus is a no. So sorry, another learning curve here. I thought that it listed with a blank. It does it typically list all board members and then have a blank until they vote, or does it only list those who have voted? So we got to wait till we see 15. All right, my bad. Thank you, member Bogus. Okay, that passes with 2 noes, member Bogus and member Klein. Back to Chair Norton.
Okay, and now the third motion from this particular agenda item. Motion for the board is that the committee recommends that the board approve using $260,000 of state funds and $20,000 in the tax delay funds from the discretionary funds for $130,000 of security guard services at the USBE office, $75,000 for 2 part-time staff to assist in the mailroom and with facility-related needs, and $75,000 to upgrade the obsolete parking gate equipment.
Okay, let's see. So that is a motion, and that requires a second. Do we have a second from member Straight? Okay, back to you, Chair Norton. Would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, we've had quite a discussion in our finance committee over the past year about security needs here at the building. And the security gate cannot be repaired. It needs to be replaced. And this is all just to keep staff safe, us safe, the building safe in this time of increased crime in this area.
All right, thank you. We do have a second discussion of the motion. Member Klein?
Question, do we have security guards already? Is this in addition to that 130,000, is that in addition to security services that we already use? Yeah, that's my question.
Chair
if I
Norton,
may.
do you have that, or did I see a hand back from Deputy Jones? Do we want to defer? Thank you,
Oh,
Deputy
okay,
Jones.
sorry. So Chair, if I may, no, it's to continue the present level of security. It's it's one-time money, but we have to sustain the current contract, current capabilities that we have for the security. Does that answer Board Member Klein's question, sir?
Yes, that does. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Seeing no other lights, the motion is that the board approve using $260,000 of state funds and $20,000 in tax delay funds from the discretionary funds for $130,000 for security guard services, the USBE office, $75,000 for 2 part-time staff to assist in the mailroom and the facility-related needs, and $75,000 to upgrade obsolete parking gate equipment. Voting is open. Member Hymas. Okay. Member Hymas.
Yes.
Member Hymas is a yes. Okay, we got one. Member Davis, I think we don't have a record of your vote yet. There we go. Okay, voting is unanimous. That passes. Back to you, Chair Norton. Oh,
My report is complete.
thank you very much. Why don't we take a 5-minute break and we'll hit law and licensing.